Welcome to Oddball, the day after the draft in New York City. I'm Charlotte Wilder. That is Amin Elhassan.
Hi, guys. I wore this because yesterday Charlotte was incredibly disrespectful towards the pinstripes and the legacy of the Yankees. Yes.
What did I say?
You said some disrespectful shit. And also, it was Derek Jeter's birthday, so I was like, you know what? I'm wearing this today.
Ask me
Just
how much I
happen to have that packed in the bag.
How many championships have the Yankees won in the last 25 years?
5?
Really? No.
Yes.
20 years?
Yeah, dude, since 1996. Wait, is 1996 20 years ago?
No, 2000.
No! I'm old!
I am victorious.
Oh.
All right, you know what? Whatever about the Yankees. Let's talk about the Knicks.
What?
OG Anunoby.
When was 1996?
Reports indicate will sign a 5-year, $212.5 million contract. Per sources, this deal will include a player option and a trade kicker. What is that?
A trade kicker?
Yeah.
If you get traded, because it's really hard to get a no trade clause in the NBA.
Right.
So they have this thing called the trade kicker. Trade kicker is if you get traded, you automatically get 15% more money.
Oh, love it.
On the remainder of whatever's left on your contract.
Trade me, am I right? This is how I found out.
For traveling expenses or moving expenses.
Yeah, whatever. Okay. This is how I found out that OG Anunoby was traded. You know, draft picks, schmaft picks.
I mean, I think like the Knicks are definitely playoff contenders year after year, and if we want to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals and get past, Indiana and all that, then we're gonna need them. And the breaking news just now was OG Anunoby, $212 million, 5 years, and that's gonna seal the deal.
Wait, to the Knicks?
Yeah.
Did you just break news to me?
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, thank you so much. I'm gonna check my phone now. Thank you, Rob.
You're very welcome.
Go Knicks.
Okay, let's go Knicks. Thank you.
Oh my God.
I guess you could call yourself an OG and a newbie when it comes to learning that news.
Yeah, okay. Well, you already knew.
Yes, I did.
I was like, Amin, OG resigned.
You said, did you hear? And I was like, what happened? Did the Hawks trade the pick? What happened?
Yeah. Well, shout out to Rob. He was very nice. He had a very cute little son.
Yes.
But we were worried about, age or whatever, so he wasn't on camera.
Sure.
Amin, what do you feel about this? Because I think New Yorkers seemed very excited.
Yeah.
What is your analysis of this?
So, OG wanted max. He wanted max money. He did not get max money. He got like $30 to $35 million less than max. I think the max is around 247.
Okay.
And he got 212. So, on the one hand, you could say, oh, okay, well, we saved somewhere in the neighborhood of $7 million a year off of what he was looking for. That's great. On the other hand, the whole trepidation wasn't about, is he good enough?
Right.
The trepidation is he healthy? Because this is a guy, not just in his Knick tenure, but throughout his career, has not been healthy. He tore his ACL in college, Charlie. He came out in the draft with a torn ACL.
I forgot.
So it's like, this is a guy with a long history of medical issues. So we don't know what the details are. We just know like these very vague parameters. But the details will come out where we'll figure out like there's partial guarantees or provisions that he's got to play a certain number of games, a certain number of minutes or whatever. That would make me feel better. If you're telling me it's $212 million all guaranteed, I think you're still living with the same issue you lived with had you given him max. It's just, okay, so you got, instead of paying him $47 a year, you're paying him $40. Okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
Like, it's nice to not pay $47, but $40 is still a lot for someone who is hurt.
Right. Some Knicks fan, I can't remember where we heard this, Amin. I don't know. It was at the draft last night. I don't think it was someone we were interviewing for Man on the Street, but it could have been. Someone was like, these for Knicks fans are champagne problems. Yeah. Like, what an unbelievable thing for Knicks fans to be able to be like, well, I don't know if that max deal for that very good player, or like, oh, were those picks too much to give up for this other very good player? Yeah. Like, they're all not used to this. I guess some favorites now to win the title, the 2025 title, which feels like the future.
I know.
Feels like it shouldn't be 2025
well,
next
like
year.
100 years from now? Yeah.
Right. Next year.
Next year, Jesus.
The favorites to win the title on DraftKings, Boston plus 290. We love that for me. Denver at plus 800. And then the Knicks and Thunder at plus 850. Does this feel right to you?
this is their week, man. They like Knicks fans could not feel any better. Maybe July 1 things will change for him when Hartenstein signs for $100 million somewhere else.
Right.
I don't know if you saw Nick Claxton signed an extension at like around $100 million. So it's like
really, I didn't see that either.
See, that's the level now. That's the baseline. So if Claxton got that, Hartenstein's got to be like, I'm better than that guy, right? No, I don't know, Nick Claxton. I'm just saying that's.
You're saying that Hartenstein would say that.
That's exactly. I'm saying what Hartenstein would say. Yep.
No shots fired here.
There was a draft last night, Charlotte.
Oh,
shut the door.
That's right.
Get it? There's a draft. Shut the door. Yeah. We were there, and I gotta tell you, I posted this on Threads earlier today. I have never felt more ignorant at an NBA event in my life.
Yeah.
I just felt like I didn't know anything.
Yeah.
I might as well been covering the MLB draft. That's what it felt like.
Honestly, I mean, it really shook my confidence too, to be perfectly frank, because like this first year doing a daily NBA show, except for Mondays. And, I really felt I'd made progress. We've had some smart analysis on here. Sorry, it's true. Boo. And last night I was like, wait, am I actually bad at this? Am I stupid? Do I know anything? This was a tweet that someone sent, and John Rich said, this is the first time I've looked at a draft class and thought, I bet I could beat some of these guys up. To me, I looked at this draft class and I was like, oh, these guys are too young for me even to have like babysat them. They look like who are they?
Charlotte, you know how old they are?
What?
They're old enough for you to be their teen mom.
Oh, God.
That's how old they are.
Oh, God.
And not like, oh my God, but it's like regular.
They're like 17.
The pregnant girl in high school.
Okay.
Like that's what I'm talking about, right?
What are we doing?
I don't know.
Was there anything that stood out to you? I don't know. They asked me this on Levitard, and I was like, what? I was like,
what stood out was like, who are these people? Even the names that I knew, I could not tell them by like, oh, that's so and so, right? Like I couldn't tell that. They needed to walk around with "Hi, my name is" tags in order for me to know who they were, and that's like a weird feeling. But other than that, I think like the big thing was like the trades. We had the Washington Wizards traded Denny Avdia to the Portland Trailblazers for Malcolm Brogdon.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
Right?
Former Sixth Man of the Year, the Celtics.
The 14 pick last night, and a future 2029 first round pick, and then 2 second round picks. And I'm like, for Denny Avdia? Like, he's an okay player, but like that seems like a lot. Because Brogdon is a guy who's going to have value. You can turn around and flip Brogdon in the same way that the Blazers turned around and flipped Drew Holiday when they got him, right?
Yeah.
Brogdon, is that kind of player.
Right.
And then also 2 first-round picks and then also 2 second-round picks. It just feels like that seems a lot for a very average player. And in retrospect, it makes the Mikal Bridges deal not as ridiculous.
Well, right. I'm sort of like, is there something with the market? Is this an economist situation? Like, I've been a little confused. I mean, even though I rigorously defended the Mikal Bridges trade because of the power of friendship, which also a lot of Knicks fans said last night. So shout out to friendship. Something that was interesting to me, was the Grizzlies picked Zach Edey at 9. He's 7'4", 2-time National Player of the Year. But to me, watching him in college, he looked like a guy who, in 15 years, we would be like, wow, remember Zach Edey in college? Like, he was pretty good. I just don't know how his game translates to the NBA, especially with someone as fast as Ja Morant.
Yeah, Zach Edey reminds me of someone who's like, you'll see him in the TBT in a couple of years. Like,
and I think a lot
and they'll have a name like Painters Boilermakers. It's like that has some name that refers to where he went to school, but not quite.
The backlash to the backlash has already started though with the Zach Edey conversation. I've seen a lot of people being like, Zach Edey sucks, and then a lot of people be like, what did Zach Edey ever do to you? And it's like, I don't know. Zach Edey just doesn't
basis. It's called sports. Like, what did he ever do? Nothing. He plays sports.
This draft is like, when did everybody all of a sudden start being like, well, actually, this is actually a really important situation. Like,
the one good thing that came out of that pick, though, is that we got this on IG from Ja Morant.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa! Damn!
Rush Hour 3. Shout out to Rush Hour 3. Shout out to Chris Tucker. I'm going to tell you something else, though. about this. Zach Edey was player of the year and all that stuff. Look, man, I may not like watch a shit ton of college basketball. I watch a lot of NBA basketball. I know what translates and what doesn't translate. And I'm looking at that guy. What he does doesn't translate. Like, I look at him and I say, is he better than Boban?
Yeah.
Because Boban is another huge human being, right? Who's incredibly skilled. He's got a great touch. He's a great shooter. He's a good passer. And for his size, decent mobility.
Yeah.
And he doesn't play.
Yeah.
So you tell me Zach Edey, who doesn't have any of the skill parts
right.
that Boban does, at least not to Boban's level,
right,
and doesn't move well, will, and it was also like it just seemed incongruent to what they're building. And it reminded me years and years ago when I was working for the Phoenix Suns in 2009, there was this player at UConn named Hashim Thabit, who was another, just like this, 7'3", and like he averaged a shit ton of blocks or whatever, but questions about his mobility, his lateral mobility and stuff like that. Now, the game wasn't where it is today in terms of the speed, in terms of the positionless and all that stuff.
Right.
There was still like bigs and littles and et cetera. But we were like, yeah, this dude is not an NBA player. We had a serious conversation in our war room that if he falls to us in the second round, do we take him on principle?
Okay.
Like, okay, this guy, like, take a fly on him. Like, forget about our first round pick. We're talking about, like, if he falls us in the second round, do you take him? Like, I mean, maybe, whatever. And so the draft starts, and number one is Blake Griffin. Everyone knew Blake Griffin was going to be number one.
Shout out to Clipped.
And then Commissioner Stern says, with the second pick in the NBA draft, the Memphis Grizzlies select Hashim Thabit. We were like, what? 2? Over Harden? Over Steph Curry? Over Ricky Rubio?
Oh.
These were all guys that we were like, what, like in our the elite of our board. And I remember at the time thinking like, why would they do that? And last night I got thrown back. I was like, why would y'all do that?
You know,
I get it. Steven Adams is gone. Like, he's not Steven Adams.
Right. When I first started working in sports, I saw a lot of decisions being made where I was like, maybe I just don't know enough. Maybe maybe everybody making these decisions is smarter than me. They know something I don't. They see something I don't. And then after a few years, I was like, oh no, they're just, sometimes people do things.
I'm going to give you another example. When you say, I don't know anything, right? Here's one. The Lakers selected Dalton Connect with the 17th pick.
Yeah.
It looks like it should be Necht, but Connect is how I'm told how it's pronounced.
Yeah.
Ask me when
did you find out about who this guy was?
Last night when they said the Lakers select Dalton Connect. I've never heard of him. And I'm like, I'm just being honest. I know there are a lot of shows that be like, the Lakers got to steal. Unless it's like Sean Farnham or Fran Fraschilla or one of these like college basketball experts, these people are lying. There's nobody. Dan Levitard talks about like Dalton Connect. He's lying. He's never heard of him. It's no disrespect to Dalton Connect. I'm just telling you, like,
Dalton Connect was a guy last night I saw, and I was like, oh yeah, I saw that guy at one point during college basketball. But I wouldn't, if you'd showed him to me, I wouldn't have been like, oh yeah, that's Dalton
Connect. I can't pick him out of mine. I'm guessing with a name like Dalton, he's white, but he might come in here darker than me, and I'm like, oh, I guess I got one wrong.
No, he's white.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because this happened a long time ago. Fred VanVleet and Ron Baker, teammates at Wichita State. Yeah. Ron Baker looks like his name should be Fred VanVleet. Fred VanVleet looks like his name should be Ron Baker. But anyway. I bring up the Dalton Connect pick, not because we're going to break down Dalton Connect, but because according to Jovan Buha, my good friend who covers the Lakers for The Athletic, JJ reportedly pulled out a whiteboard immediately and started drawing up ATOs. And this is according, by the way, I think this is according to Rob Pelinka.
Who said that JJ did that?
Rob Pelinka is the person.
Okay, so what this sounds like to me, is when a parent is like, oh yeah, my 2-year-old pulled it the other day. I came home and he was just reading a book about physics. It's like, no, he wasn't. Sounds nice. I don't know. This reminded us that JJ made a shocking admission during his presser on Monday. Let's roll that.
I have never coached in the NBA before.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. But luckily he did all the requisite training.
What we got? Oh, head coach boot camp.
What?
Who's he there with? Is that me?
That's me. That's you and me. Okay. I'm going to pull back the curtain for a second. our producers just said, like, read the script when it says JJ made a shocking admission, and they were like, just trust us. So that eroded some trust, guys.
Yes,
Thank
absolutely.
you. Perfect.
Because here's the crazy thing. There's no shortage of pictures of me and you with someone in the middle on a couch. You did not need to Photoshop any of this. You could have just grabbed an actual photo and taken out anybody else and put JJ's head there.
Whose dog is that? What are we doing? Are we teaching him how to coach in the
Why
I don't know how to coach in the NBA.
Why is this what you think a head coach boot camp would look like? A couch and microphones.
That's a podcast boot camp.
You're actually doing the opposite. We're sending him back into the media space as opposed to like getting him ready for coach.
Yeah. All right. Well, something that I am excited about.
What is the dog for?
I don't know. We have to move on.
Do you own a dog?
No.
I don't own a dog.
Ant does. Ant, is that your dog? Yeah, that's Ant's dog. That's Lupe. Okay. The 76ers.
Sure, the dog is made it the show today. That's great.
The 76ers drafted Jared McCain, noted TikTok star. I love this guy. Love this guy. He paints his nails. He has 2.8 million followers on TikTok. He sang this song that this British girl sang once. It was like, I'm 3 days into college. Did you see any of that?
Nope.
All right.
This is what I'm going to say. First of all, for people like me, I'm going to look right at the camera. For people like me, so he's not popular on TikTok because he's one of the best basketball players in college basketball. Like it's not like John Morant having or Zion Williamson having a million followers or Bronny having 1 million followers on Instagram. It's not one of those things. Like he is famous to a completely different subset of people.
Yes. That
like TikTok videos and stuff like that. And then he also happens to play basketball.
Yes.
When I discovered him earlier tonight, this is one guy I had heard of and I can recognize. This is what I said. I gave him the Joe Mazzulla thing, which is like, you can do all that shit, buddy. You better be good. If you suck and you're doing this, they are gonna. You better maybe preparing for that.
But I don't know if we're there yet. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if we're there anymore. I feel like so many of these guys are going to come into the league now with these sorts of followings because they were like, "Oh, I'm on television for college basketball. Let me just piggyback this with my
Charlotte." You gotta be good. Like we could say, "Oh, so many guys are coming in." Yeah, but the moment they're not good, they're going to hear about it.
Right.
They're going to hear about it relentlessly, especially as someone drafted that high.
Yeah. All right. Well, this video from yesterday already has 2.7 million views, and we're supposed to, again,
one for every follower.
Producers are telling us, lay out for this music so we can hear what he's dancing to.
Wow!
He's dancing to our show intro music.
He's like, I'm about to talk about me tomorrow.
Now they're telling us to say, oh, what's that? You wanted AI versions of us doing the same dance? What pants am I wearing?
Wait, can we go full screen so I can see this clip? This is very tiny on my screen right here.
Am I wearing flesh tone colored leggings?
That is terrifying.
Nightmare fuel. Okay, show Amin. I'm assuming you have one for me. Why does he have more normal pants on?
Why do I look like 50 Cent? It doesn't even look like me.
Okay, we have to stop this. I already have nightmares about. Don't stop it! Don't stop it! Don't stop it!
No.
We'll be right back. Welcome back to Oddball. Free agency is heating up. I mean, what?
Charlotte's seen what's love got to do with it. I'm really surprised and shocked that one's made the list.
Listen, I contain multitudes. Let's do some time traveling. Save everyone the stress of figuring out what's going to happen in free agency. Love that graphic. Thank you, everybody. Great work, producers.
That's not what time travel looks like.
Well, maybe. We don't know.
The time travel looks like a DeLorean. Get on it, guys.
Okay.
It's a DeLorean.
So let's start with Paul George. Lots of teams are rumored to be interested in the Clippers. Paul George. We're going to predict the future. Here is the prompt of the headline that we're going to fill in. Paul George signs with...
Okay.
Blank.
Oh, wait, hold on. I'm coming from the future.
Oh, yeah.
I got a text on my phone from me in the future. It says, Paul George re-signs with the Clippers.
Oh.
I think all this is much ado about nothing.
Oh.
Look, man, he plays for a coach that uses him the right way. He's happy. He lives near home. He's from Palmdale, not LA, but like that's close enough. And the Clippers aren't a bad team. It's just like we've always said is like they can't stay healthy.
Right.
So as long as he gets his money, I think he's always going to have a chance. The sign and trade to Golden State seems so far-fetched. The move to Philadelphia seems so unlikely.
Yeah, to move cross-country when he wants to stay on the West Coast, for Golden State to get rid of Klay Thompson and Chris Paul to get Paul George, it feels like a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with you. I buy it.
Okay. Is that you got the same headline?
Yeah.
All right, okay. All right, we'll move on to another guard, Hall of Famer, Klay Thompson.
Oh.
Yeah. Warriors' interest in Paul George. A lot of people think he might go there. Seems to mean that the Golden State Warriors are willing to break up the Splash Brothers. Charlotte Wilder, Klay Thompson signs with...
Oh, sorry. Just got a text from me in the future. Says Klay Thompson re-signs with the Warriors.
You know how I know you're lying?
How?
Because a text from you in the future wouldn't just be that. It would be like a long preamble, like, okay, I had a weird day, and then this waiter came up to me, and I said, how do you do, good sir? And I tipped my cap to him, and I said, why did I do that? Also, Klay Thompson just signed with the, what'd you say?
Warriors.
Warriors? Oh, yeah, no, that's not what I got.
I have never been so owned before.
Yeah.
And you've owned me a lot. You're right. I would have had to scroll through like, hey, sure, super weird thing just happened. Look, what do you think?
I think Klay, I know, because I got the text from the future. Klay Thompson signs with the Orlando Magic.
Oh.
Because they have a need for someone who's older and wiser. True. They have a need for someone who can score from the perimeter and shoot, which they were terrible shooting from the perimeter. Mm-hmm. And he has a need to feel loved and like cherished and not like, oh, you're old now. And so I think Orlando is like the place where he feels that.
You make a compelling argument, but my text from the future, once I scrolled past the preamble, said, they just couldn't do it. They just could not get rid of Klay, let go of Klay. Klay agreed to take less money. He was like, I'd rather stay here and mentor people.
Oh, my God.
It's crazy. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
but it's what my phone said.
I think you in the future might have hit her head.
Well, I might have hit my head now. So 76ers, I mean, they missed out on Mikal Bridges, no Anunoby. Their remaining options seem to be Paul George, which according to the future won't happen. Brandon Ingram, DeMar DeRozan, or will Joel Embiid look elsewhere? Joel Embiid tells the 76ers blank. Headline from the future.
Excuse me. Joel Embiid tells
Do you have a
Sixers,
text from yourself?
Yeah, send me to the Knicks. Now, I got to tell you.
Do they do it?
This is a different me from the future who told me that Paul George was going back to the Clippers and tell me Klay Thompson going to Orlando. This is a me from the future from like 2035 when Joel Embiid's knees are dust and the Knicks are still searching for that one superstar. After the Knicks figure out like, a super team of role players who can't get the job done. That's when Joel Embiid goes, and he's hurt all the time in New York.
So depressing.
Yeah.
Mine is Joel Embiid tells 76ers, thanks for hanging out with me. And I didn't say whether he's still there or not.
All right. Okay. What about this one?
Okay.
Kevin Durant, right? So the Rockets are reportedly interested in trading for Durant. Meanwhile, Suns owner Matt Ishbia came out very vehemently and said, no, absolutely, there's nothing to see here, and Phoenix is going to win.
Phoenix loves Kevin Durant, and Kevin Durant loves Phoenix.
Yep. So that's always a wonderful kiss of death when you get that vote of confidence. So the headline, Charlotte, from the future is, it's opening night. Kevin Durant is suiting up for...
the Houston Rockets.
Oh, wow.
Because the minute Matt Ishbia sent that tweet, I was like, give it 3 days. Kevin Durant is out of there. Pretty simple. Yeah. That's what my text from the future says. And I explained why yesterday. Amin, Bronny, the second round of the draft is tonight. If you're watching, it's probably to get the answer to this question. Bronny drafted by blank.
Los Angeles Lakers. I mean, come on. What are we doing here? What are we getting?
The text from me tomorrow says, LOL.
Duh. Were you that dumb in 2024 at 11 in the morning?
Yeah. Did you hit your head yesterday?
Actually, you did, because I'm in the future. I know that you hit your head.
Yeah. I'm already fighting for my life out here.
Hey, that's going to do it for us here at Oddball. Remember,
I know what you're doing.
Yeah,
I forgot you were going to do this.
Michael Jordan's Defensive Player of the Year award was a sham.
Okay.
A sham built on fake stats. Never forget. And also, what's up with Charlotte's pants?
Yeah, why did you guys give me no pants? Okay, see you tomorrow.